And welcome back, everyone, to the Pokemon Team Creation Series. Today's comes to us from Mission Pond Marshall, who asked the question, what is the Pokemon team of Echo from Skylanders? Another series where I have never played it. I was aware of it, though, because it was that series that you actually collected the figures, did it on those special little, scanning platform, and, and then the actual figure came to life and you played with the character. I did remember that. I think it's long since gone the way of the dodo, or if it's still around, it's in a very small capacity. Um, but no, this is a character from that series. And she is a water dragon that is very vocal, has a lot of voice water weapons, is a big fan of music, grew up in a society where they worshipped I think, a wisdom pearl, but they had to be very quiet near it, but she had a very loud voice, which is why she was able to protect it. That's really all I got off this character, but I was able to generally create a team for this character based around that. And first thing that came to mind immediately was there's only currently two water dragons. That'd be Kingdra and that'd be Palkia. Well, it definitely wasn't going to be Palkia on the team. That was going to be Kingdra. Kingdra is just is the first water dragon, and Kingdra is color scheme wise. I mean, this actually looks like a Pokemon that would fit very well with this character. So Kingdra immediately was going to be on the list. Beyond that, that's where I'm like, okay, now I actually have to think and build the team a bit. I knew I wanted one other dragon on the team, though. Being a dragon, I figured at least one other dragon on the team made sense. But who would that be? Being that most of these characters are young characters, too many fully evolved Pokemon came off a little, I don't know, unbalanced in my head. But as it turned out, a good portion of these fully evolved Pokemon are actually fully evolved. Or excuse me, the Mon on this team is fully evolved. So I went with Dratini though as the baby dragon to be on the team, the young dragon. Dratini's often and Dragonairs live in water a lot of time, even Dragonair Knights, so that added up to me. Then I knew when I read that this Pokemon character lived near a wisdom pearl that was very sacred and could answer questions. I knew I needed something to represent the pearl, and luckily we had Clamperl for that. We do have a pearl Pokemon. Now, I could have actually gone with something like a Spoink, which has a pearl on its head and has psychic abilities. We know that. But I like the Clamperl better because it is based on an actual pearl, and it is a water type. So I felt that was actually a solid choice. Then the final one that actually made it to the team was for Alligator. This is mostly an aesthetic. I was debating in the Totodile line whether I wanted to go maybe it's just Totodile, Croconaut, or Feraligatr. But if you've seen certain images of Feraligatr and know that it can definitely go on its front arms, or actually its front legs are actually arms, and that it can definitely be bipedal. I did like that as an option. That left me then with the two Mon that represent A, her loud voice, and B, her love for singing. So in terms of one of those, I went with Exploud. Now Exploud is known for, it's literally its name. It's explode. It is a giant subwoofer, basically. Subwoofer lizard creature. And it is, I like Exploud. I've actually always liked Exploud's design. It is very reptilian, but doesn't look beyond its base type of normal. It looks like a normal reptile, and it looks like it's very powerful. So Exploud definitely was the mon I chose to represent a very loud sound type character. Last but not least, I needed a mon that represented her love of music. And that one was a bit trickier. Part of me wanted to go with Toxtricity, but Toxtricity as a typing just doesn't add up. It is a rock and roller, it does learn Boom Burst, but I think it's just too off the beaten path for a mon like this. What we do have, though, is Primarina, which we know for a fact is a singer, a performer style mon. And It's a water type as well. We know that Sparkling Aria is a a vocal type move, and yeah, it is it's a mon that I think just works in this scenario. Now, obviously, I usually go by how balanced these teams are. This is one of the lesser balanced teams I've created. There's three water types. Four water types. Only one of them is dual typing. Um, um, and so for Alligator and Clamperl are automatically weak to electricity, flying, and grass. Kindra's dragon at least mitigates the ice weakness of dragon to a certain degree and mitigates the electric weakness and the grass weakness, but it's still very weak to fairy types. Then you got Primarina, who the fairy type doesn't do anything for the weakness against grass and electric or flying. And it does add an immunity to dragon, which is good, but it then has the weakness to poison, weakness to steel. So that's a catch-22 right there. Then you got Dratini, which is just straight out weak to dragon and fairy. And then you have Explode, which admittedly immune to ghost types, but weak to rock and fighting, if I'm not mistaken. So until then, yeah, this is what I thought the team would be. I'll admit, I did create this team not in a hurry. It wasn't a rush job per se, but it was a team that I didn't take very long to create. Maybe if I spent more time, more in-depth time thinking on it, I'd end up creating something else. But this is a team I felt was a solid little representation of this character, who I knew very little about from the get-go. So, yeah, this is my team for Echo from Skylander. What do you think of this team? Do you agree with it, or would you change it? And if you would, what would you do different? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.